Chapter 10 Microsoft Excel 2010 Advanced. In this chapter, we will learn advanced skills of Microsoft Excel 2010 application. This chapter will cover charts, elements of a chart, chart types, selecting right chart type, creating a new chart, modifying and formatting a chart, sparklines, creating sparklines, modifying sparklines, working with tables in Excel, what-if analysis, scenario manager, goal seek, data analysis, pivot tables, introduction, creating and editing a pivot table, pivot charts, other features in Excel 2010, slicers, conditional formatting, working on duplicates, text to column wizard, protecting a worksheet, charts. Charts are graphical representation of data in Excel. Through charts, your audience can see meaning behind the numbers, and showing comparisons and trends becomes much easier. A chart has many elements, out of which some are displayed by default, while others can be added as per requirement. You can also change the display or remove various chart elements. Elements of a chart. Elements of a chart. A chart has many elements. You can change the display of the chart elements by moving them to other locations in the chart, resizing them, or by changing the format. Some chart elements may also be removed if you do not want them to display. Let's learn about various elements of a chart. Chart title is the title, illustrating chart description. Chart area. Plot area. Vertical axis or value axis. The value axis is the numerical scale which shows the value of the data point. Horizontal axis or category axis. It is the line where the various data series are organized. It is the horizontal part of the chart. Legend. It identifies which data series each color on the chart represents. For complex charts, it is crucial element. Data points. Data points are the horizontal bars, lines, columns, and other data markers. Data series. Data points which are from the same row or column in a worksheet are grouped together in data series. The data series includes all the related data points in a chart. If there are multiple data series in the chart, they will have a different color or style. Data labels. Actual value of the data point is called data label. Grid lines. Horizontal lines displayed in plot area are called grid lines. Chart types. Now let's see what are the different chart types available in Excel 2010. Column. A column chart allows comparison of two or more items in different categories. Values are represented as vertical bars. Each column represents a single value in the worksheet. They are normally used to show variation of different items over a period of time. In a column chart, categories appear horizontally and values appear vertically. But in a bar chart, category appears vertically. Bar charts. Bar charts are similar to column charts, except that bars are represented horizontally rather than vertically. A bar chart emphasizes the comparison between items at a fixed period of time. Pie charts. Pie charts are mainly used to show contribution of each value to a total. Pie charts make it easy to compare shares. Each value is shown as a slice of the pie, so it's easy to see which values make up the percentage of a whole. Pie charts contain just one chart data series. All values should be positive for this type of chart. Line charts. A line chart is ideal for showing trends over time, where regular time intervals are plotted on the horizontal or x-axis. In this, data points are connected with lines, making it easy to see whether values are increasing or decreasing over time. The line chart emphasizes trends rather than the amount of change. Area charts. An area chart shows both the change over time as well as the sum of these changes. They are similar to line charts, except the areas under the lines are filled in. An area chart shows the relative importance of values over time. XY scatter charts. XY charts are scatter charts. XY charts or scatter charts are used to analyze the relationship between two sets of data points or variables, and they compare pair of values. The data need not be regularly spaced unlike in a line chart. It uses numeric values along both axes in place of values along the vertical axis and categories along the horizontal axis. Legend is used to show what the line represents. Stock charts. This chart is often used to illustrate stock prices. This chart can also be used for scientific data like indicating temperature changes. Surface charts. They can be used to pinpoint the high and low points resulting from two changing variables. Surface charts allow you to display data across a 3D landscape. They work best with large data sets, allowing you to see a variety of info at the same time. Surface charts plot trends in values across two dimensions in a continuous curve. The trends in a surface chart imply the combined effects of two variables on a third. In order to use a surface, you need minimum two data series, both of which are numeric as with an XY chart. Bubble charts. A bubble chart is a kind of scatter chart. The size of the bubbles indicates the values of a third variable. To arrange your data, place the X values in one row or column and corresponding Y values and bubble sizes in the adjacent rows or columns. Duff nut charts. The duff nut chart is a variation of the pie chart. The pie chart is restricted to one data series, but duff nut chart does not have any such restriction. Radar charts. A radar chart is used to show the relationship between individual and group results. It has a special use. Each category in a radar chart has its own axis radiating from the center point. Data points are plotted beside each spoke, and data points of same series are connected by lines. Chart preparing process. Chart preparing process has four basic steps: finalizing purpose or message of the chart, arranging data for chart, preparing the chart, formatting the chart, selecting right chart type. As you learned, Excel has a variety of chart types available for different purpose and different scenarios. Whenever we display data visually, most important is choosing the right chart type. All charts display the data visually, but different charts present the data in very different ways. For example, line charts are useful for showing changes over time, whereas pie charts are useful for showing the relationship of parts to the whole. Frequent use of Excel 2010 will make you more familiar and proficient in choosing the perfect chart type available and the best formats for those chart types. Using the best chart type and format will help you display your data visually in the most meaningful way. Finalizing purpose or message of the chart. Basic purposes of a chart are comparison, showing the distribution, understanding the relationship, showing parts of whole, finding out deviations. Let us understand these reasons along with the type of charts that go well with these. Finalizing purpose or message of the chart. Basic purposes of a chart are comparison, showing trend over time, showing the distribution, understanding the relationship, showing parts of whole, finding out deviations. Let us understand these reasons along with the type of charts that go well with these. Charts that can be used for comparison. For comparing some values with another, for example, comparing sales of two products in different regions, following charts can be used: bar charts, column charts, scatter plots, pie charts, and line charts. Trend over time. For showing trends over time, for example, admissions in a course in last 12 months or price of a share during last 6 months. Charts that can be used are column charts and line charts. Charts that can be used to show distribution. Distribution, for example, call waiting times in a call center of telecom operator or any other call center, may be shown using the charts such as column charts, scatter plots, line charts, and box plots. For showing relationship between two or more variables, charts that can be used are scatter plot and line chart. For showing parts of whole, for example, weightage of a subject in course or examination compared to total marks, charts that can be used are column charts, bar charts, or pie charts. For finding out deviations from normal, for example, chart showing marks obtained by learners in mathematics examination and displaying deviations, that is, weak students. Charts that can be used are column charts, bar charts, or line charts. Creating a new chart. For most charts, like column and bar charts, you can plot the data that you arrange in rows or columns on a worksheet into a chart. However, some chart types like as pie and bubble charts require a specific data arrangement. On the worksheet, arrange the data that you want to plot in a chart. Excel automatically determines the best way to plot the data in the chart. Select the cells that contain the data that you want to use for the chart. If you select only one cell, Excel automatically plots all cells that contain data that is adjacent to that cell into a chart. On the Insert tab in the Charts group, click the chart type and then click a chart subtype that you want to use. To see all available chart types, click Insert Chart dialog box and then click the arrows to scroll through the chart types. Select any chart type. By default, the chart is placed on the worksheet as an embedded chart. Tip: in Excel 2010, you can create combination charts also, which are combination of two or more chart types available in Excel. Modifying, formatting charts. Once you insert a chart, a set of chart tools consisting of 3 tabs will appear on the ribbon. These are visible only when the chart is selected. You can use these 3 tabs to modify your chart, that is, Design, Layout, and Format. Applying a predefined chart layout. Click anywhere in the chart that you want to format by using a predefined chart layout. This displays the chart tools, adding the Design, Layout and Format tabs. On the Design tab in the Chart Layouts group, click the chart layout that you want to use. Apply a predefined chart style. Click anywhere in the chart that you want to format by using a predefined chart style. On the Design tab in the Chart Styles group, click the chart style that you want to use. Changing the layout of chart. Changing the layout of chart elements manually. Click the chart element for which you want to change the layout. On the Layout tab in the Labels, Axis or Background group, click the chart element button that corresponds with the chart element that you selected, and then click the layout option that you want. Change the format of chart elements manually. Click the chart element for which you want to change the style. On the Format tab, to format any selected chart element in the current selection group, click Format Selection and then select the formatting options that you want. To format the shape of a selected chart element in the Shape Styles group, click the style that you want or click Shape Fill, Shape Outline or Shape Effects and then select the formatting options that you want. To format the text in a selected chart element by using Word Art. In the Word Art Styles group, click a style. You can also click Text Fill, Text Outline or Text Effects and then select the formatting options that you want. Add a chart title. Click anywhere in the chart to which you want to add a title. On the Layout tab, in the Labels group, click Chart Title. Click Centered Overlay Title or Above Chart. In the Chart Title text box that appears in the chart, type the text that you want. To format the text, select it and then click the formatting options that you want on the mini toolbar. Add Access Titles. Click anywhere in the chart to which you want to add Access Titles. On the Layout tab, in the Labels group, click Access Titles. To add a title to a primary horizontal category axis, click Primary Horizontal Axis Title and then click the option that you want. To add a title to primary vertical, that is value axis, click Primary Vertical Axis Title and then click the option that you want. To add a title to a depth, that is series of axes, click Depth Axis Title and then click the option that you want. In the Axis Title text box that appears in the chart, type the text that you want. To format the text, select it and then click the formatting options that you want on the mini toolbar. Add data labels. To add a data label to all data points of all data series, click the chart area. To add a data label to all data points of a data series, click anywhere in the data series that you want to label. To add a data label to a single data point in a data series, click the data series that contains the data point that you want to label and then click the data point that you want to label. This displays the chart tools, adding the Design, Layout and Format tabs. On the Layout tab, in the Labels group, click Data Labels and then click the display option that you want. Move or resize a chart. To move a chart, drag it to the location that you want. To resize a chart, click the chart and then drag the sizing handles to the size that you want. Or on the Format tab, in the Size group, enter the size in the Shape Height and Shape Width box. Customizing chart using Design tab. Type command group. Change chart type. Changes chart type to a different type. Save as template. Saves formatting and layout of the chart as a template for applying to future charts. Data command group. Switch row or column. Immediately swaps or interchanges worksheet data used for legend entries with axis labels in the chart. Select data. Changes source data range included in the chart. Layout tab. Labels commands group. Customizing chart layouts using Layout tab. Layout tab has various command groups and each command group has various command buttons. Let's understand these command groups and command button. Labels commands group. Chart title command button. Adds, removes or positions chart title. Axis titles command button. Adds, removes or positions text used to label axis. Legend command button. Adds, removes or positions chart legend. Data labels command button. Adds, removes or positions data labels. Data table command button. Adds a data table to the chart. Axis command group. Axis command group. Axis command button. Changes formatting and layout of each axis. Grid lines command button. Turns grid lines on or off. Background command group. Background command group. Background command group. Plot area command button. Turns plot area on or off. Chart wall command button. Formats charts walls. Chart floor command button. Formats 3D charts floor. 3D rotation command button. Drop-down menu enables you to change 3D viewpoint of chart like 3D shadow and rotation. Formatting chart elements using the Format tab. Format tab has various command groups and each command groups has various commands button. Let's understand these command groups and commands buttons one by one. Shape Style command group. Shape Styles command button. Drop-down gallery enables to preview and select visual style of the chart element. Shape Fill Styles command button. Displays a drop-down color palette for previewing and selecting fill color for chart element. Shape Outline Styles command button provides option to specify color, width and line style for outlining the chart element. Shape Effect Styles command button applies visual effects to the selected chart element such as shadow, glow, reflection or 3D rotation. Word Art Styles command group. Word Art Styles command group. This command group has various command buttons which are Word Art Styles command button. Preview and select visual style for the text. Text Fill command button. Preview and select text fill color for selected titles of chart or to all titles if nothing is selected. Text Outline command button. Preview and select text outline for selected titles of chart or to all titles if nothing is selected. Text Effects command button applies visual effects to the selected chart element such as shadow, glow, reflection or 3D rotation. Arrange command group. Arrange command group. This command group has also various command buttons which are Bring Forward command button. Bring the selected object forward one level or to the front of all objects. Send backward command button sends the selected object backward one level or behind all the objects. Selection pane command button shows selection pane to help select individual objects and change their order or visibility. Align command button aligns the edge of multiple selected objects which can be centered or distributed evenly across the page. Group command button groups objects together so that they can be treated a single object. Rotate command button rotates or flips the selected object. Sparklines. Sparklines. Excel 2010 version has introduced new types of miniature charts called sparklines that fit into a single cell and represent trends or variations in collected data. It is also a convenient alternative to charts. Because of their compactness, you can place a large number of them in your worksheets. For example, you could place one sparkline on each row to show trends within that row. In Excel 2010, sparklines are of the height of the worksheet cells, whose data they represent, and is any one of the following three types. Line, which represents the selected worksheet data as a connected line showing their relative value. It is similar to a line chart. Column, which represents the selected worksheet data as miniature columns. It is similar to a column chart. Win or loss, which represents the selected worksheet data as a win or loss chart, where wins are represented by blue squares that appear above the red squares, which represent losses. It is similar to column chart except that it only shows whether each value is positive or negative instead of how high or low the values are. Let's understand what is the need of sparklines. Sparklines are basically charts. So why should we use sparklines instead of charts? Sparklines have certain advantages that make them more convenient in many cases. Let's say you have thousands of rows of data. If you place a sparkline on each row, it will be right next to source data, thereby making it easy to see the connections between the numbers and the sparkline. If you used a traditional chart, it would need to have thousands of data series in order to represent all of the rows, and you would probably require scrolling a lot to find relevant data in the worksheet. Ideally, sparklines are used in situations where you want to make the data clear and more eye-catching, and where you don't need all of the features of a full chart. On the other hand, charts are ideal for situations where you want to represent the data in greater detail, and they are mostly better for comparing different data series. Creating sparklines. Creating sparklines. To add sparklines to the cells of your worksheet, you need to follow some steps like: select the cells in the worksheet with the data you want represented by a sparkline. Click the desired type of chart you want for your sparkline in the Sparklines group of the Insert tab. Select the cell or range of cells where you want your sparkline to appear in the location range text box. Working with tables in Excel. Tables. To make working with data easier, you can organize data in a table format on a worksheet. Tables provide easy filtering in addition to calculated columns and total rows, which make calculations simple. Create a table. You can use one of two ways to create a table. You can either insert a table in the default table style, or you can format your data as a table in a style that you choose. Insert a table using the default table style. On a worksheet, select the range of cells that you want to include in the table. The cells can be empty or can contain data. On the Insert tab in the Tables group, click Table. Keyboard shortcut you can also press is Ctrl-L or Ctrl-T. If the selected range contains data that you want to display as table headers, select My Table Has Headers checkbox. Table headers display default names if you do not select the My Table Has Headers checkbox. You can change the default names by selecting the default header that you want to replace and then typing the text that you want. Insert a table using a style of your choice. On the worksheet, select a range of empty cells or cells that contain the data that you want to quickly format as a table. On the Home tab, in the Styles group, click Format as Table. Note, when you use Format as Table, Excel automatically inserts a table. Under Light, Medium or Dark, click the table style that you want to use. If the selected range contains data that you want to display as table headers, click a table style that includes a header row. Custom table styles are available under Custom after you create one or more of them. Delete a table without losing the data or table formatting. After you create a table, you might not want to keep working with the table functionality that it includes. Or you might want a table style without the table functionality. To stop working with your data in a table without losing any table style formatting that you applied, you can convert the table to a regular range of data on the worksheet. Click anywhere in the table. Tip: this displays the table tools. Adding the Design tab. A cell in the table must be selected for the Design tab to be visible. On the Design tab in the Tools group, click Convert to Range and then click Yes. Table features are no longer available after you convert the table back to a range. For example, the row headers no longer include the sort and filter arrows, and structured references, that is, references that use table names, that were used in formulas turn into regular cell references. What if analysis? Goal Seek. Goal Seek. Goal Seek is a useful what-if analysis tool available in Excel. If you know the result that you want from a formula, but are not sure what input value the formula needs to get that result, you can use the Goal Seek feature. For example, suppose that you need to borrow some money. You know how much money you want, how long you want to take to pay off the loan, and how much you can afford to pay each month. You can use Goal Seek to determine what interest rate you will need to secure in order to meet your loan goal. Goal Seek works only with one variable input value. If you want to accept more than one input value, for example, both the loan amount and the monthly payment amount for a loan, you can use the Solver add-in. Let us understand this with an example. Because you want to calculate the loan interest rate needed to meet your goal, you use the PMT function. The PMT function calculates a monthly payment amount. In this example, the monthly payment amount is the goal that you seek. Preparing data for Goal Seek. Open a new blank worksheet. First, add some labels in the first column to make it easier to read the worksheet. In cell A1, type loan amount. In cell A2, type term in months. In cell A3, type interest rate. In cell A4, type payment. Next, add the values that you know. In the cell B1, type 2 lakh. This is the amount that you want to borrow. In cell B2, type 180. This is the number of months that you want to pay off the loan. Next, add the formula for which you have a goal. For the example, use the PMT function. In cell B4, type is equals to PMT in bracket B3 by 12, B2, B1. This formula calculates the payment amount. In this example, you want to pay rupees 2000 each month. You don't enter that amount here because you want to use goal seek to determine the interest rate. Because there is no value in cell B3, Excel assumes a 0% interest rate and, using the values in the example, returns a payment of rupees 1111.11. You can ignore that value for now. Use goal seek to determine the interest rate. On the Data tab, in the Data Tools group, click What If Analysis and then click Goal Seek. In the Set Cell box, enter the reference for the cell that contains the formula that you want to resolve. In the example, this reference is cell B4. In the To Value box, type the formula result that you want. In the example, this is 2000. Note that this number is negative because it represents a payment. In the By Changing Cell box, enter the reference for the cell that contains the value that you want to adjust. In the example, this reference is cell B3. Click OK. Goal Seek runs and produces a result. Finally, format the target cell B3 so that it displays the result as a percentage. On the Home tab in the Number group, click Percentage. You can see that by using Goal Seek, you have found that with an interest rate of 8.76%, you can meet your rupees 2 lakh loan goal in 180 months by paying rupees 2000 per month. Scenario Manager. A scenario is a set of values that Excel saves and can substitute automatically in cells on a worksheet. You can create and save different groups of values on a worksheet and then switch to any of these new scenarios to view different results. For example, suppose you have two sales scenarios, a worst case and a best case. You can use the Scenario Manager to create both scenarios on the same worksheet and then switch between them. For each scenario, you specify the cells that change and the values to use for that scenario. When you switch between scenarios, the result cell changes to reflect the different changing cell values. Data Analysis. Pivot Tables. Pivot table make the data in your worksheets much more manageable by summarizing the data and allowing you to manipulate it in different ways. Pivot tables can be an important tool when it is used with large and complex spreadsheets, but it can be used with smaller spreadsheets as well. We will now learn the basics of creating and manipulating pivot tables. To create a pivot table, select the table or cells, including column headers, containing the data you want to use. From the Insert tab, click the Pivot Table command. The Create Pivot Table dialog box will appear. Click OK. A blank pivot table will appear on the left, and the field list will appear on the right. Appropriate fields may be added to change the report. Change a pivot table report to compact, outline or tabular form. Click anywhere in the pivot table report. This displays the pivot table tools, adding an Options and a Design tab. On the Design tab in the Layout group, click Report Layout. To keep related data from spreading horizontally off the screen, And to help minimize scrolling, click Show in Compact Form. In Compact Form, fields are contained in one column and indented to show the nested column relationship. To outline the data in the classic pivot table style, click Show in Outline Form. To see all data in a traditional table format and to easily copy cells to another worksheet, click Show in Tabular Form. Add fields to a pivot table report. Select the checkbox next to each field name in the Fields section. The field is placed in a default area of the Layout section, but you can rearrange the fields if you want. By default, text fields are added to the row labels area. Numeric fields are added to the values area and date time to the column labels area. Right-click the field name and then select the appropriate command. Right-click the field name and then select the appropriate command. Add to report filter, add to column label, add to row label, or add to values. To place the field in a specific area of the layout section, or click and hold the field name and then drag the field between the field section and an area in the layout section. Change row labels. Drag any existing fields out of the row labels area and they will disappear. Drag a new field from the pivot table field list into the row labels area. The pivot table will adjust to show the new data. Add column labels. Drag a field from the pivot table field list into the column labels area. To show multiple columns, we'll need to add column labels. Tips for pivot tables. Just like with normal spreadsheets data, you can sort the data in a pivot table using the Sort and Filter command on the Home tab. You can also apply any type of formatting you want. For example, you may want to change the number format to currency. However, be aware that some types of formatting may disappear when you modify the pivot table. If you change any of the data in your source worksheet, the pivot table will not update automatically. To manually update it, select the pivot table and then go to Options, Refresh. Using a pivot chart. A pivot chart is like a regular chart, except it displays data from a pivot table. As with a regular chart, you'll be able to select a chart type, layout, and style to best represent the data. To create a pivot chart, select any cell in your pivot table. The Options tab will appear on the ribbon. From the Options tab, click the Pivot Chart command. The pivot chart will appear in the worksheet. If you want, you can move it by clicking and dragging. If you make any changes to the pivot table, the pivot chart will adjust automatically. Other features in Excel 2010. Slicers. Slicers were introduced in Excel 2010 to make filtering data easier and more interactive. They are basically just report filters, but they are more interactive and faster to use because they let you quickly select items and instantly see the result. If you filter your pivot tables a lot, you might want to use slicers instead of report filters. To add a slicer, select any cell in your pivot table. The Options tab will appear on the ribbon. From the Options tab, click the Insert Slicer command. A dialog box will appear. Select any cell in your pivot table. The Options tab will appear on the ribbon. From the Options tab, click the Insert Slicer command. A dialog box will appear. Select any cell in your pivot table. The Options tab will appear on the ribbon. From the Options tab, click the Insert Slicer command. A dialog box will appear. Conditional formatting. By applying conditional formatting to your data, you can quickly identify variances in a range of values with a quick glance. Select the data that you want to conditionally format. On the Home tab, in the Styles group, click the arrow next to Conditional Formatting and then click Color Scales. Hover over the color scale icons to see a preview of the data with conditional formatting applied. In a 3-color scale, the top color represents higher values, the middle color represents medium values, and the bottom color represents lower values. You can experiment with the available styles on your data and see the results. Working with duplicates. In Microsoft Excel, you have several ways to filter for unique values or remove duplicate values. To filter for unique values, use the Advanced command in the Sort and Filter group on the Data tab. To remove duplicate values, use the Remove Duplicate command in the Data Tools group on the Data tab. To highlight unique or duplicate values, use the Conditional Formatting command in the Style group on the Home tab. Filter for unique values. Select the range of cells or make sure the active cell is in a table. On the Data tab, in the Sort and Filter group, click Advanced. In the Advanced Filter dialog box, to filter the range of cells or table in place, click Filter the list in place. In the Advanced Filter dialog box, to copy the results of the filter to another location, click Copy to another location. In the Copy to box, enter a cell reference. Select the Unique Records Only checkbox and click OK. The unique values from the selected range are copied to the new location. The original data is not affected. Remove duplicate values. When you remove duplicate values, only the values in the range of cells or table are affected. Any other values outside the range of cells or table are not altered or moved. Select the range of cells or make sure that the active cell is in a table. On the Data tab, in the Data Tools group, click Removes Duplicates. Under Columns, select one or more columns. Click OK. Excel displays a message indicating how many duplicate values were removed and how many unique values remain, or if no duplicate values were removed, click OK. Conditionally format unique or duplicate values. Select one or more cells in a range or table. On the Home tab, in the Styles group. On the Home tab, in the Styles group, click the arrow next to Conditional Formatting and then click Highlight Cells Rules. Select Duplicate Values. Enter the values that you want to use and then select a format. Convert to text. Convert text to columns wizard. You can use the Convert Text to Column wizard to separate simple cell content, such as first names and last names, into different columns. Depending on the way your data is arranged, you can split the cell content based on a delimiter, such as a space or a character, such as a comma, a period, or a semicolon. Or you can split it based on a specific column break location within your data. Split content based on a delimiter. Use this method if your names or content you want to split are separated by delimiters like space, comma, or other characters. Select the range of data that you want to convert. On the Data tab, in the Data Tools group, click Text to Columns. In Step 1 of the Convert Text to Columns wizard, click Delimited and then click Next. In Step 2, select the space checkbox and then clear the other checkboxes under delimiters. The data preview box shows the first and last names in two separate columns. Click Next. In step 3, click a column in the data preview box and then under column data format, click Text. Repeat this step for each column in the data preview box. If you want to insert the separated content into the columns next to the full name, click the icon to the right of the destination box and then select the cell next to the first name in the list. If you do not specify a new destination for the new columns, the split data will replace the original data. Click the icon to the right of the Convert Text to Columns wizard. Click Finish. Protecting a worksheet and its elements. By default, when you protect a worksheet, all the cells on the worksheet are locked and users cannot make any changes to a locked cell. You cannot insert, modify, delete or format data in a locked cell. However, you can specify which elements users will be able to change when you protect the worksheet. Select the worksheet that you want to protect. To unlock any cells or ranges that you want other users to be able to change, select each cell or range that you want to unlock. On the Home tab, in the Cells group, click Format and then click Format Cells. On the Protection tab, clear the Logged checkbox and then click OK. To hide any formulas that you do not want to be visible in the worksheet, select the cells that contain the formulas that you want to hide. On the Home tab, in the Cells group, click Format and then click Format Cells. On the Protection tab, select the Hidden checkbox and then click OK. To unlock any graphic objects such as pictures, clip art, shapes or smart art graphics that you want users to be able to change, hold down Ctrl and then click each graphic object that you want to unlock. This displays the picture tools or drawing tools, adding the Format tab. On the Format tab, in the Size group, click the dialog box launcher button image next to Size. On the Properties tab, clear the Logged checkbox and then click OK. On the Review tab, in the Changes group, click Protect Sheet. In the Allow all users of this worksheet to list, select the elements that you want users to be able to change. In the Password to Unprotect Sheet box, type a password for the sheet. Click OK and then retype the password to confirm it.